Hello, I'm W.H. Mitchell, author of the Imperium Chronicles sci-fi book series, which includes the Arks of Andromeda and the Dragons of Andromeda. Both books are available on Amazon, and they're both free through Kindle Unlimited. Today I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Chapter 12 of the Arks of Andromeda. Today's reading is brought to you by Tee. Life still sucks, but you won't care. Chapter 12. On Eudora Prime, Technotown offered everything a tinker could want, whether she was willing to pay for it or not. The 8 blocks along Emporia Street assaulted a person's eyes with electronic signs, 3 stories high, bleeding digital words and images from the roof down to the sidewalk. People, predominantly humans, wandered along, lost in the avalanche of chaotic advertising. Nobles and commoners alike carried bags from whatever store had successfully sucked them in and spat them out again. A few were unaware exactly what they had bought. Melinda Freck, who everyone called Mel, popped out of the doorway of a store specializing in starship parts. Only 3 feet tall, Mel could barely carry the bulky satchel under her arm as she looked down the busy sidewalk. From a race called the Nomi, Mel had pointed ears that poked through her light pink hair. It was a cruel coincidence, but the name of her species resembled one from ancient Earth, leading to jokes about little red hats and tiny shoes. Mel began walking leisurely from the shop entrance until the shop owner burst onto the sidewalk, waving his hands and shouting for the police. Mel abandoned the casual approach and ran madly between startled customers. She became aware of a policeman lumbering after her with a scowl on his broad, meaty face. In his sausage-like fingers, he carried a shock baton crackling with electricity. Mel knew all about what humans thought of her kind. The Nomi had a reputation for snatching whatever machines they could get their hands on. They liked to fiddle with devices and make them better. Of course, they would also resell them for a profit, but a girl had to make a living. Turning a corner, Meryl narrowly missed a woman holding groceries. The rotund policeman, close behind, plowed into the woman at full speed. The bags tore open, sending oranges rolling across the pavement. Mel dodged the flying produce, but felt a tug. Looking over her shoulder, she saw the officer holding the strap of her satchel. Crap on a cracker, she thought, tightening her grip. Mel pulled hard on the knapsack, but the officer was more than twice her size and nearly dislocated Mel's shoulder as he yanked on the strap. "Dirty tinker," he growled at her. "Let me go," she said. Mel thought her prize was lost, but the woman with the lost oranges began flailing her fists on the officer's chest. The policeman tried defending himself, but released the satchel in the process. Making her escape, Mel disappeared with her satchel down an alley and into her culvert. From the darkness of the sewer drain, Mel saw the legs of the policeman stumbling into the alley, but she knew he wouldn't follow her down there. The Underdelve was no place for humans. In the damp tunnels of the sewer, Jen, the general-purpose robot, was trying, with limited success, to keep up with her master, Orkney Fugg. The robot and the portly Gordian meandered through the dark, dripping passageways of the Underdelve, with only strings of light along the walls for illumination. Fugg, insisting he knew where he was going, was short with a stocky build and a thick neck. Stubby tusks protruding from his mouth, he grumbled while he walked. Jen was about the same size, but with a curved feminine frame made from plastic and aluminum. Her metallic feet made tapping sounds on the hard tunnel floor. "Why didn't we go to Technotown, Master Fugg?" she asked. "Too many damn humans," he muttered. "You don't like them?" she asked, practicing her art of small talk. Without missing a step, Fugg grunted through his hog-like snout. "Hell no." "Why?" "They're bastards, every one of them," Fugg said. "Anyway, we can get better prices in the Underdelve." "Oh yes," Jen remembered. "Captain Raymond said you were cheap." "Frugal," Fugg protested. "That dull bastard should appreciate what I do for him." The narrow passage opened into a cavernous chamber. The ceiling was a network of interconnected pipes from which crude lighting hung by loose wires. If Technotown had an ugly stepsister, this place was it. Most people just called it the black market. Jen and her frugal companion weaved through the steady throng of undesirables dressed in shabby clothing caked with dirt and foul-smelling sludge. The market used to be a section of the city sewer, but the denizens of the Underdelve turned it into a bazaar for the downtrodden. Individual stalls, each little more than plywood and sheets of plastic, lined the walls, making for a tight fit in between. An assortment of questionable goods, acquired through questionable methods, covered each table. Unlike on the surface, none of the shoppers were human. "All right, there it is," Fug said. He was standing in front of a rusted door with the words "Frex Gizmos and Gadgets" welded onto the metal. With effort, he pushed the door open and went inside. Instead of a store, Freck's workshop was more like a cluttered closet with storage boxes filled with bits of wire and dusty circuit boards. At the center of the mess, a small girl hunched over a work table, sparks like burning fairy dust flying from whatever she was working on. "Mel," Fug said. Receiving no response, he yelled, "Mel!" The girl, her hair a disheveled mess from which long, pointed ears protruded, spun around. She pushed a pair of goggles up onto her forehead. In her hands, she held a plasma welder, the flame still burning. "What?" "Did you get that part I ordered?" Fug said. Mel switched off the welder and pulled the goggles off her head, dropping them onto the table. "Of course." She opened a drawer and brought out a satchel. Opening it, she removed a nondescript piece of equipment. "Any trouble getting it?" Fug asked. "Do you care?" she replied. "Just making friendly conversation, Tink." Mel glared at him. Touching Fug lightly on the shoulder, Jen said, "It's my understanding that such words are considered offensive by the Nomi people." "Nonsense," he said, rolling his eyes. "I'm a Gordian. I can't be racist. You're racist for even suggesting it." Fug covered her mouth. "Oh dear," she said. "I'm so terribly sorry, Master Fug." "You ain't offended, are you, Sparky?" Fug asked, winking. "Course I am, you fat bastard," Mel shouted. Fug's mouth opened, closed, and then opened again. "Well, your customer service stinks." "Are you buying this or not?" Mel demanded. "How do I know it works?" Fug asked. "You've got my money-back guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied, I'll steal another one for you." "That sounds fair," Jen remarked. "Fine," Fug said, handing Mel a credit stick. "Here's the amount we talked about." "Need any help installing it?" Mel asked. "I think I can manage," Fug snorted. "I know the Wanderer like the back of my hand. There's nothing on that heap I haven't fixed or swapped out." "I'm surprised it still flies," Mel said. "Stick to your gizmos and whatnots," Fug said. "Starships are for men like me." "What about you, robot?" Mel asked. "My name's Jen." "Has he tried fixing you yet?" "Well," Jen said, "Master Fug attempted to add an attachment to me, but Captain Ramus said it was indecent." Mel's eyes widened and she stared at the Gordian. "You disgusting pig." "Don't judge me," Fug retorted. Mel pointed to the door. "Just get out." "With pleasure," Fug said. Thank you for listening to Chapter 12 from the Arks of Andromeda. Today's reading was also brought to you by Max Joe Extreme Coffee. Sleep when you're dead. Warning, may cause premature death. The Arks of Andromeda and the Dragons of Andromeda are on Amazon, and you can read them both for free on Kindle Unlimited. Please follow me on social media. Until next time, goodbye.